Hi there, in this video I'm going to show you a couple of things you can do to really improve your overall YouTube consumption experience, so especially with the Chrome browser. So there are a couple of extensions that you can use, and the first one I'm going to show you is in order to speed up your video playback. Now of course YouTube does have an inbuilt option to do this. If you click on the settings button in the bottom right and click on playback speed, you obviously have these options to both speed up and slow down, but I find it's a little bit difficult and cumbersome to actually access by having to click through several menu items. So instead what you can do is you can install a Chrome video speed controller like this. This is a Chrome extension which allows you to change the playback speed, which you can see here. And it also allows you to fast forward videos and rewind videos by 10 seconds as well. It becomes even more powerful once you start learning the keyboard shortcuts. So in order to install it, you're just going to search for Chrome Video Speed Controller, and it's the first result on Google. You just want to add that. Once you have it added, you'll see this icon, this red icon in the top right, and basically next to your web address bar, and if you click on that, that will give you the options for the speed control. So if you click on settings, you see there are a couple of different settings here, and it's really helpful to learn what these are and remember them. Sometimes this little panel here might be a little bit annoying, it might get in the way, so if you press V you can actually remove that. So that's really helpful. Well, these are all very helpful, to be honest, and you can obviously change them as well to whatever you prefer. You can change how much the speed and slowdown increments are. You can also change how far forward you want to fast forward or rewind and so forth. And then these last two here, the reset and the preferred speed, I use these a lot. So when you're watching a video, and instead of having to gradually increment the speed, you can go straight to your preferred speed. So my one is 1.8, so if I press either R or G, it will take me up to my preferred speed. But if I press the same button again, it will go back to the original default speed. They are slightly different controls, the reset and preferred speed. And the difference between those controls is, let's say for example, like reset will always take it back, okay? Whereas, so for example, I'm on 1.8 or a faster speed and I press R, it will take me back to 1. But let's say I'm on 2.4 and I press G, which is for preferred speed, that will just take me to my preferred speed as opposed to the default 1 normal speed. So that's handy if, say for example, you really want to go through videos very quick, and maybe you're going up to three times speed, but every now and then you want to bring it back to a slightly fast speed, but not all the way back down to 1. There are a couple of more things here as well. I've changed the opacity to 1 so that you can actually see this panel here, but say if I had it at 0.3, which is where I usually have it, it's a lot less obvious. So you probably hardly see it now. You can see it's in the top left. And yeah, it's obviously a little bit lighter there. One more thing worth mentioning, probably another very useful keyboard shortcut. This isn't part of the Chrome extension, but it's just part of the normal YouTube video playback behavior, is actually pressing spacebar. When you have the video selected, we'll actually pause it and play it again. Just useful in case you didn't know that one too. Next Chrome extension I want to mention is the YouTube video ad blocker. Now there are lots of these Chrome extensions. It doesn't really matter which one. I don't think it really matters that much which one you add. They're all pretty much the same. They all do the same thing. But basically what this will mean, it will prevent YouTube from playing ads midway through or between videos. And finally, the last thing I wanted to mention is not actually a Chrome extension. It's something that's actually part of the Chrome browser, but it's a feature that whenever you have media playing, and something I just realized you actually have to have the sound on for some reason for it to show up, is this little button here in the top right that you'll find next to all your extensions. And once you click on that, you can see you can actually control your media that way. But the most useful feature on this button, I think, is this option to actually minimize the video down here and play it from here. So this can be quite helpful if, say for example,
using the blog to share.
You want to play it whilst taking notes. So let's say if we opened up a new Google Doc, which you can do by just typing docs.new in the address bar, and we can start taking notes here. One of the downsides with this minimize view is it doesn't show you what timestamp is currently playing, which is a pity, because one of the neat things about YouTube is it allows you to put timestamps. If you put timestamps in the description, those will also create hyperlinks that people can click on, which is helpful if people just want to go to the parts that interest them. You kind of create, in essence, they're like these sort of chapter bookmarks, I guess. And so just to give you an example of this, now this isn't going to work with a minimize view, but I'm just going to snap this to the right and left like that. I'm using a Mac app called Magnet in order to do that quickly. But let's say, for example, it's an and it's spread at fireflies.ai. Okay, so I'm mentioning in this video of mine that I've created, I'm mentioning this app at 7:48 or platform. So I'm going to say mentioned, and I'm going to use the HTTP address just so that YouTube also recognizes this as a hyperlink, so it will link to that as well. Okay, so let's say, for example, I want to include this mention in my video, so I'm just going to edit video. I'm going to paste this into the description, save that. And now when I open that video, you'll see, hopefully.
Basically, there's like this.
You'll see that it's created this hyperlink, which I can simply click on, and that will take me to that spot in the video. So very helpful. One last little trick with YouTube worth mentioning is usually in the default view with YouTube, you have the video you're watching, and then you have all this other distraction on the side. But let's say you just want to focus on the main video. Now obviously you can go full screen by pressing F. You can escape that, but another helpful shortcut is T, which will just basically make the video full size but without taking up your entire screen, so just on your tab. So T will do that, and if you press T again, it will come out of that view. So there you go. A couple of useful tricks and tips and Chrome extensions to make your YouTube video experience a lot less frustrating and more enjoyable. I hope you enjoyed it, and do let me know if you have any other suggestions or comments below this video.